Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all? I hope you're all wearing your smiles. To those who are new here, thank you for dropping by my channel. And to those who have been with me, thank you for taking the time to subscribe to my channel. Let's get straight into the storyline of the movie. The story begins with the Campbell family. In an interview, Sarah Campbell recounts the experiences they went through at that time. Sarah, along with her family, moves to a new house they've rented. They desperately needed the house, not only because it's affordable, but also because it's close to the hospital. It's known that Sarah's eldest child, Matey, has been afflicted by a deadly disease, cancer. As time goes by, Meddy's condition starts to deteriorate, and the expenses for her treatment keep piling up. Sarah, along with her husband Peter, works hard to earn money to cover her treatment costs. From the information Sarah gathered, she visits the house, and luckily, she meets the owner right then. Sarah immediately asks about the rental price. Never did Sarah imagine that the homeowner would be so kind to her, offering the first month rent-free if she decided to rent the house. And guys, believe me, for every difficulty we face, there's always a side of ease we receive. The spacious house, which is almost perfect for the Zara family to occupy, holds its own historical value. However, Sarah doesn't care much about the past events in the house. For her, the most important thing is to have a comfortable and safe home. To be honest, the previous house Sarah lived in was very difficult for her, especially because it was far from the hospital where Meddy was receiving treatment. After witnessing Meddy's suffering, Sarah feared that the long journey back home late at night would worsen Meddy's condition. After contacting her husband and discussing the matter of renting the house, Sarah, without hesitation, agrees to take it. Zara was helped by the homeowner to set up a bed for Sarah, and they slept there. For the first time, Zara and Matt stayed in the new house. But guys, just one night after they stayed, strange occurrences began to happen. It didn't stop there. In the middle of the night, Meddy suddenly woke up feeling uncomfortable, and Matt heard what sounded like footsteps. The wooden floor of the house would creak when someone walked on it, and the sound of footsteps grew louder, leading Meddy to go to a room below the ground. Just the night before, they moved into the house, so it was uncertain what was inside. Matt himself was unaware that there was a ghost standing there, revealing itself. Suddenly, Meddy woke up in the morning, and there's a very large room where several other rooms can be seen, but they're covered with glass doors. It turns out it was just a bad dream for Meddy. Feeling curious, she explored all the rooms there. She bravely went to the room she had dreamt of, and said to her mother that she wanted to make it her own. This was because she felt drawn to that room. There was another room there, but it was still locked, and the door's glass couldn't be penetrated to see inside. Later, her siblings, Wendy, Billy, Mary, and their father arrived at the house. The empty room meant they all got their own places for their rooms. This is where the strangeness began to occur, especially to Sarah's daughter, Meddy, who always saw peculiar things in the house. Besides that, Meddy also always dreamed, as shown by the incident that had happened in the glass door room. Through her vision, Meddy saw a boy with an old man writing something like a mantra on a human corpsey using a knifey. Then, he wanted to cut the eyelids of the corpsey, and even though she woke up, she was confused and suspicious yet curious about that room. Strangely, when Meddy reopened the door, suddenly the doorknob felt hot, causing her hand to burn and suffer injury. On the following night, Meddy continued to experience terrifying dreams, feeling like he was getting a clue. Eventually, he managed to open the door to that room. It was like an operating room, complete with medical tools typically used by Dr. Peter and Billy. Upon entering, they were shocked to find such a room in the house. Peter grew suspicious as to why the homeowner offered the house at such a low price. He asked Sarah several questions, but unfortunately, Sarah didn't know anything about what was inside the house. For them, it wasn't the main focus to uncover what was inside the house. What mattered most now was figuring out how to cure Meddy. In a shadowy encounter, Meti found herself haunted by persistent nightmares. While seeking medical treatment, he encountered Nicholas, a nearby pastor, who noticed her distress. Meti confided in Nicholas about her recent unsettling dreams, leading to a brief conversation. Nicholas offered his assistance, providing Meti with a means to reach out if needed. Meanwhile, Wendy and her siblings also experienced ghostly terrors at home, with sudden power outages and eerie apparitions. When Meti entered a darkened room, he encountered a spectral figure alongside covered corpses. As the door closed on its own, curiosity piqued Meti's interest in the room. However, upon closer inspection, the once animate corpses remained lifeless, leaving Meti puzzled by the surreal encounter. Over time, a horrifying entity frequently appeared to Meti, until one night, while he slept soundly, the ghostly terror invaded her body. Meti woke feeling strangely improved, seeming different, possibly due to the effects of the haunting presence now within her. Billy persuaded Wendy to play hide-and-seek. Unbeknownst to them, an evil spirit lurked, targeting them. Billy hid in one spot while Wendy sought refuge on the building's upper floor. From behind, a dark figure approached them, causing one of Wendy's feet to get trapped in the warehouse. Wendy and Meti heard Billy's screams of terror. Billy, paralyzed with fear, remained trapped inside. Shortly after, they heard Mary's voice, unexpectedly coming from where Mary had stepped before. Meti discovered a wooden box containing family photos and another smaller box inside, filled with human eyeballs. There were also photos of other people, including one with something in their mouth, reminiscent of the boy from Meti's dreams. Meti told Wendy about the dream. Initially, Mick thought it was just a hallucination seeing the boy's spirit, but now the boy is indeed real. Meti is very curious and doesn't know the meaning of her dream here. This led them both to start investigating what had happened in this house. Wendy searched for information at all the nearby libraries, and after some time of searching, they finally found an article from a newspaper published at that time. Ramses Reichman was a doctor conducting research on wandering spirits, and it was known that the child in Meti's dream was Jonah. Jonah was Ramses' assistant, serving as the medium for Ramses to perform spirit summoning rituals. Each spirit summoned by Ramses would enter Jonah's body, and the selling of these spirits was successfully done, allowing Ramses to truly summon them. Ramses offered spirit summoning services for the deceased, not only conducting the summoning, but also creating a substance called ectoplasm to make the spirits visible to humans. The appearance of ectoplasm is like what's shown in the photo. So, guys, the conclusion is that this house used to be a place for spirit summoning practices done by Ramses and Jonah. The spirit summoning service became very famous and attracted many people to come for summoning rituals. Some peculiarities arose when all 4 followers of Ramses were found dead, with unclear causes of death. Some speculated that they were killed by Ramses himself. After this tragedy, Ramses and Jonah disappeared without a trace for 30 years. Then, when there was construction work that required relocating the public cemetery of 100 old graves, they only found coffins containing a sandbag. They suspected someone had stolen the corpses. Meti suspected that the coffins were stolen by Ramses. Meti then contacted Nicholas to inform him of what they found. Nicholas himself had seen a similar case when he was in Paris. When he saw those eyelid fragments, Nicholas finally realized that what Ramses was doing was a gruesome form of magic, to control wandering spirits through human corpses. The reason they had to cut the eyelids is that generally, the Did would close their eyes, but by cutting the eyelids, the corpse could still see. Then, with the power of magic, the soul of the dead person would be trapped and unable to escape for long. So essentially, Ramses was exploiting the souls of the dead to achieve his goals. There was nothing they could do except pray for those souls. Nicholas led the prayer, inviting Meti and Wendy to pray together. But again and again, every time Meti prayed, she was shown visions of past events. Enter Sarah. Sarah sees and gets angry when she finds someone else in Nicholas's house. Nicholas tries to explain that there are evil spirits in the house, and they want Meti. In such a dangerous situation for Medi if not handled, Sarah still doesn't believe Nicholas and insists he leaves. So before Nicholas leaves, he gives her his business card, believing that she will eventually need his help. When everyone is fast asleep, it's Sarah's turn to be disturbed. She wakes up hearing someone approaching her. She thinks it's Meti. When she turns on the bedroom light, the disturbance becomes more tangible, now affecting them both. Eventually, Sarah believes what Nicholas said, and in a hurry, she calls him. Nicholas quickly brings detection equipment to find the center of the evil spirits. A dark figure now manifests itself in front of Nicholas, and the house starts shaking violently. Nicholas knows what to do to stop the haunting. He must find the remains of the malevolent spirit. Thanks to the equipment he brought, Nicholas is able to locate where the essence of the evil spirit is. Meanwhile, Sarah and Medi are unaware that a figure is approaching them. But fortunately, before it reaches Medi, Nicholas manages to extract the essence of the corpse from the house. For the time being, things calm down, and Nicholas is confident that the evil spirit won't bother them anymore. However, shortly after, Medi's body is covered with mystical writings that appear on her skin. Medi is terrified, and Sarah rushes her to the hospital. Meanwhile, Nicholas is still on his way and almost gets into an accident. He is startled by a ghost accompanying him. The ghost shows Nicholas what happened in the house in the past. Medi is visited again by wandering spirits, revealing clues about the events. It turns out Ramsey died in a fire along with others in the house. The spirits reveal the ritual conducted by Ramsey before his death, instructing Jonah to leave, but unfortunately, it was too late. Jonah was trapped in a burning furnace and died. Nicholas and Medi finally realize that the figure before them is the spirit of Jonah, seeking their help to release the trapped souls in the house. Nicholas mistakenly brought Jonah to the house, where not evil spirits resided, but another demon still lingering there. Nicholas is still there, and hurries to contact Sarah's family to ask them to leave the house. Unfortunately, no one answers the house phone as the attack from the evil spirits begins. Wendy is attacked in her room, while Medi escapes from the hospital through a window. Wendy is frightened when she sees Medi, but Medi is not there to harm her. Instead, she has come to uncover the secret hidden within the walls, where many things are concealed. She brings her siblings out of the house while she stays to finish it. It was unexpected. Before Ramsey hid the corpses in the house walls, Meti released the trapped spirits and burned the corpses, causing parts of the house to catch fire. Even though the police tried to stop Zara from entering the house, she was determined to save them. Both of them almost got trapped inside, but luckily the fire department arrived and rescued them, and they both survived. Nicholas can finally smile peacefully as he successfully saved the trapped spirits in the house, with no casualties in this tragedy. A miracle occurs when Medi's canceled disease is declared fully cured. And here, the film ends. Alright guys, how did you like the storyline of our film? If you enjoyed each twist, feel free to share and subscribe. Don't miss out on my next video. Thank you.